What's up, guys? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to break down what's happening with the economic calendar moving forward, break down some big news involving President Trump, which you should be watching for in the charts moving forward. But just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I'm saying as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $2,000, you're guaranteed 30 in total, not to mention 8.1% APY on invested cash. The offer ends at the end of March. Anyways, let's talk about what's happening with this market. So, as far as Tesla's going, I just want to mention that we attempted to go a little bit higher during this pre-market session, right over here around the 286 area. However, what happened was as time went on, we started to slow down a bit as we hit this tough resistance right here. There's also an imbalance to fill all the way down here around that 277 area. So if we don't hold around, I would say this 282 to 280 zone, I do expect us to decline just a bit on Tesla to 277 to 274, all the way down back from the lows from yesterday. They could be retested if we do see a small decline here. But overall, as long as we don't end up losing like 274, we could still see another attempt to, try to get back up to this trend line, try to get back up closer to $300. We're not officially like turning bearish or anything like that yet until we lose the support. So for now, Tesla is still trying to hold some key support and is doing quite well. Anyways, I want to talk about some news first and I'll break down more details. We did have some bullish news that came out from Piper Sandler. So they're basically maintaining an overweight rating for Tesla, and they have a $450 price target. They just announced this a couple of days ago. They're very confident in the future of Tesla, and they pointed out to new product launches such as the upcoming robotaxi unveiling in June as major growth drivers. They also said that there's going to be a lot of challenges that we have to be looking for, such as lower than expected Q1 deliveries. And they think that Elon Musk's political actions are affecting demand. Despite that, they are still very, very excited about what's to come. They still maintain some very, very good ratings. I also talked about this other report that came out a couple of days ago as well from a Canaccord Genuity. This is important because they gave a buy rating with the $404 price target. So far, the majority of analysts are saying buy and hold Tesla. They have 11 sell ratings and they have about 25 buy and hold ratings. The majority of analysts are still bullish for now, at least moving forward. Despite this, European sales are not the strongest, and we're seeing Elon Musk getting a lot of blame for it. So that's still going on. Sales are still down a bit in Europe, so you have to keep that in mind. However, like I said before in my previous videos, we'll just have to see what happens with the new Model Y refresh and see how things end up looking as time goes on. As once we get our Q1 deliveries. As far as Elon Musk goes, he did mention that he wants people to continue to, hold on to their Tesla stock, kind of bear with this, tough period, even though it seems like Armageddon. And he's very excited for the future, so he's been kind of hyping that up. That's also what's helping the share price. Elon Musk is trying to instill confidence back into investors. Today is Wednesday, March 26th. There's not really much data coming out. We just have a couple of speakers, such as like Kashkari. We're not seeing too much data for today. It's very quiet. There was one thing that was good for the markets that involves President Trump. President Trump said that his reciprocal tariffs may be more lenient. And this is that exact quote from Trump. Trump said that I'll probably be more lenient than reciprocal because if I was reciprocal, that would be very tough for people. I know there are some exemptions, and it's going to, it's an ongoing discussion, if anything, but not too many. Not too many exemptions. That's what President Trump said. So his point is that instead of being these reciprocal tariffs being exactly the same as what their counterparts are looking like, they may have to be a bit more lenient. So he actually used that word. So keep that in mind. President Trump's tonality has been helping the market push more for the time being. We'll see what happens once we get to April 2nd, but this is a little bit more bullish for stocks. And then to add on to this, GameStop announced they want to buy some Bitcoin possibly with their cash reserves, and they had decent earnings. So, GameStop is doing well. Dollar Tree had so-so earnings, but the good thing is the fact that they want a $1 billion family dollar sale deal to private equity firms. That's some big news. And as a result, with that coming out, this is what's helping the share price. Their earnings, once again, not too bad for their sales for 2025. They're expecting 18.5 to $19 billion in sales, with growth to be between 3 to 5%. Not too bad, a bit of an improvement compared to before. So keep that in mind. Um, Finally, when it comes to news, I'm not seeing anything else that's too crazy. We did see consumer confidence dip yesterday, despite that the market dipped and bounced. And then that's pretty much it. We're seeing GameStop trying to push right now, which is quite interesting. Um, but that's it. So what do I see for Tesla? Honestly, there might be a small decline here because of this rejection. We could be returning back down to about this like 280 area, and we'll see if we bounce off that. If not, this imbalance will take us a little bit lower. Then we'll see if we get a rebound off of that. So I'll be watching that very closely to see if this trend continues. If Tesla does not hold 274, then we could be turning back down to like 266. But for now, look for a small decline, then possibly a bounce either off 280 or 274 for Tesla, as there's going to be a lot of buyers who try to defend. That's what I'm eyeing, at least as of right now. The reason I say that is because we pumped so hard without any kind of decline. So seeing a little bit of a consolidation in this phase would not be a surprise to dip, and then maybe some kind of bounce move. I think we're doing a good job, at least thus far. For SPY, we're looking bullish. We're attempting to make higher lows so far. I want to see us if it could hold above the 520, 575 area. If we could hold above 576, the high from yesterday, I do expect us to push to about 578 to 580. If we don't hold 575, we could turn back down. And if we get a big rejection, you're looking for the main support at 570.8. So keep those levels in mind. As of right now, the trend is technically favoring upside. So we're making higher highs and higher lows. So this could be looking for a move, a little bit of consolidation here, then maybe a continuation to 580. If we continue to hold above 576 for the QQQ, if you reject and we don't hold 492.5, we could be declining back down to 490 and 486. So keep those levels in mind. Those are the next supports developing off these EMAs. But if we hold above 494, then we are favoring a push for 490, 498 to 500. Basically, that's going to be our target if we continue to hold above 494. We're shuffling right now, so I do think there's going to be a bit of a shuffle dance between 492 and 494. And we'll see if we can hold above 494 to continue to push. There's not really much data coming out, so keep that in mind. If we don't hold 492.5, we could turn back down. So I'll be watching just to see. To me, it looks like it's going to shuffle up here for some time. And we'll see what the reaction happens to be as time goes on. But I do see a little bit of a shuffle coming to the QQQ. The IWM looks a bit more bullish. It's trying to bounce right here. As long as we're above this yellow trend line, we're favoring an inverse head and shoulders accumulation and an attempt to get up to about 210 to 212. ES looks bullish. As long as we don't end up losing 5,800, we're favoring 58.50 and 58.75. If 5,800 fails us, we could be tipping to like 57.91. So keep that in mind, but we're doing a good job. And Q's looking bullish off this double bottom. We could be pushing for 20,693. If we end up losing 20,293, we could turn back down, but this is still favoring the 20,600s. Looking good so far. Bitcoin is looking bullish as we're making higher lows. If we end up breaking 88,800, we could be looking for like 90,000 as our target. As long as 86,000 does not break, we're still favoring the upside closer to 90,000. For Nvda, we're looking pretty good right now. We're in a range. Just to keep in mind, we have a left shoulder here ahead and then a right shoulder. We're also trying to make higher lows, so we need to see this hold 117. As long as that holds, we should try to bounce back up for the 120, then eventually get back up to about 123.5. So watch and see. Can we fill this gap towards like 117 and hold that? I just want to see us hold support between 115 and 117. If that holds, we could bounce. If we lose 115, I will be concerned, and we're going to be looking for a dip to 111. So it depends. We have a possible cup and handle like structure. I would like to see us hold support. And in that case, we'd be looking for a big bounce off 117 to push for the 120s. Like I said before about Tesla, it could be a small decline coming, and then we'll see if we get some kind of bounce. We might dip to the low at 280s, and we'll see if buyers defend right there. So keep that in mind for Tesla, especially as time goes on. For Apple, we're bullish. As long as you don't lose 220, we're favoring 226. Still looks bullish to me. Coinbase is looking more bullish. As long as we don't lose 200, we're favoring this gap fill. So a test of gap resistance at 207, eventually a gap fill to like 212. It looks bullish so far if we could hold above 202. Amazon looks a bit more bullish so long as we don't lose 204. We could be continuing to uptrend. We have a nice triple bottom here, and if we continue we could be looking for a push towards 208 to 210. It's very close right now to our target. I do want to mention that Meta is in a tough area. We haven't broken 635 yet. We have support at 613, so we'll see if we could break out a little bit higher for like the 635s. Give it some time. For Microsoft run an uptrend, we could be retesting like these lower levels and then try to bounce. I want to see us break above 397 to remain bullish. If we lose 390, we turn back down. We're kind of in the middle right now, kind of consolidating. So I do see some consolidation before it tries to push. And then Google is quite bullish looking. We might dip and retest 169. As long as we bounce off that, we could retest these highs again. If we lose 169, we'll turn back down to fill the gap at 166. So look for a small dip, and we'll see if we get that bounce. The VIX is up just a bit, so we'll see how that affects the markets. So please be careful with the resistance we're at, and we'll see how well the market holds up. As of right now, might be a little bit of consolidation up here, but I'm hoping that SPY does eventually try to break 576 to push more. As far as Tesla goes, might be a small decline here to the lower 280s, so we'll see if we bounce near 280 or not. So please keep that in mind. Anyways, that is it for my video. Thank you all for listening. Please have a good rest of your day. I'll see you guys very soon in the next one, and peace out.